When you make the conscious decision to pick up a paintball gun and head out into the world of tournament paintball in search of adventure, what you're really seeking is a story. The fun and the challenge, the trials and the accolades, those all fade. Even if you're successful, the trophies will sit there and collect dust. The prize money will get spent. But what remains are the moments, the memories, a powerful story. Sunday has a special place in paintball. What happens on Sunday defines our sport. It's where our history gets written and where heroes are made. It's where all the hard work, the welts, and the time spent come together to create victory or defeat. What happens on Sunday is why people will remember your name. That's the story you're about to watch. Not just the story of one team or one player, but the story of a year. 1 year in the Pro Division in the National X-Ball League, the NXL. 5 tournaments, 20 teams fighting over 3 days until one remains, raising a trophy on Sunday. This is the story of 5 Sundays. Las Vegas, Nevada, a gambler's paradise and the site of the first NXL event of 2018. After 2 days of battle in the prelims, the stage is set for Sunday, which, as anyone who has been there knows, is a completely different tournament. Everything resets based on your prelim performance, but regardless of how you played in the prelims, as long as you made it through, you still have a chance to win the tournament.
No majors. Step something, baby!
Rookie Scottsdale Elevation shocked everyone by going 3-1 in the prelims, beating both the LA Ironmen and AC Dallas. Never before in the history of paintball had a team with no players currently ranked pro made Sunday in their first event as a professional team.
You know, we wanted to come out and just play our game and see what we could do, and you know, we didn't want to put too much pressure on ourselves the first event. It's going to be a learning curve for us coming into a new division, and you know, we're the underdogs here and we're still the underdogs, but I think we showed people what we can do.
Elevation had just made paintball history, but in order to get into the quarterfinals, they would first have to get through the Fort Wayne Outlaws, who had been making drastic improvements the past few seasons, but barely made it into the wild card round in Vegas by going 2-2, with a big win over former world champs Tampa Bay Damage on Friday, 6-0.
Elevation's playing with house money out here in Vegas right now. You know what I mean?
They are.
Like, first pro event, made it to Sunday. Outlaws, they fought long and hard to get these opportunities here. They've constantly stepped up their game, and they made the wild card. And I think this game could actually go either way.
Elevation rolled their guns off the break and went up early, but in the second point, young Andrew Johnson won a one-on-one, getting the drop on Hal Vanta to tie. The game swung back and forth, with Elevation winning gunfights, but the Outlaws hung strong and the game was tied 2-2. Then with just 36 seconds left, Outlaws star Fred Berkeley closed out on Mike Urena, and it looked like the Outlaws would be moving on. But a strong push by Elevation and last-second gunfight losses from the Outlaws allowed Hal Vanta to storm in and hit the buzzer with 1 second left to tie and send the game to overtime.
Time is Vanta is going to have to hit the afterburners. Big Vanta as he dives in, and I think he's going to have enough time to get that 3rd point on the board.
The Outlaws came out slightly more aggressive in overtime, but they drew a penalty, which opened up the field, and Mike Urena made a huge move on the D side to get the last few kills, moving his team into the quarterfinals and sending the Outlaws home with a heartbreaking loss.
Team that is advancing on Sunday, how does it feel to come out here, your first pro tournament, and to be moving on like this?
I mean, it feels amazing. It's better than what we had hoped for. We know we're really good players. We've all been playing for a really long time, and of course we want to come out here and show what we've got. But we're really excited.
Bruiser, let's see some yawns, baby. Let's go.
Before the rise of Houston Heat and Edmonton Impact, Tampa Bay Damage used to be the best team in paintball, winning 3 events in a row from 2011 to 2012, including the World Cup. Though they haven't been able to reclaim their former glory since their last win in 2013, the team is still stacked with experienced talent and had a solid showing last season, finishing in the top 3 events in a row. After biting their nails and watching the points towards the end of the prelims, Damage was able to sneak into the wild card with a 2-2 record, where they drew Baltimore Revo.
I mean, I picked Revo on Thursday. I felt like, I heard a lot of good things about them. Just been watching them over the past couple years. I felt like they keep getting better and better. And like I said, there were so many tournaments last year where they were like 1 body away, 1 point away. They were so close, so being on the edge. And I think getting more guys that they've played together before just helped them put them over the top. And I think it's going to make a big difference for them here, making Sundays and playing deep into Sundays now.
Revo is a team with something to prove after 4 years in the Pro Division, taking on the best players from Upton 187 crew and refining their lineups into a strong starting 5. They came into Vegas fired up to earn some respect. Revo went 3-1 in the prelims to move on to Sunday, with close wins against LA Infamous, ML Kings, and Chicago Aftershock, but their shutout Mercy Rule loss to Impact pushed them into the wildcard match. The game began with a clean point for Revo, and they went up an easy 1-0. Things started out well for them in the second point, where they shot 2 bodies on the break on the Snake side, but they got a penalty and squandered their advantage. Matt Derula ended up in a 1-on-1 with his former teammate Max Traylor, and Derula pulled it off to tie the game. Then Revo rolled off 2 points in a row on the backs of their star attackers, Max Traylor, Steven O'Mara, and Dan Zaleski. With the score sitting 3-1, Dan Holiday made a move in the middle to crack it open, and Damage pulled within 1. Playing aggressive, Damage stayed on the attack, but they got chewed up in the process, and Revo took a 2-point lead. Though Matt Derula continued to play well, and Jason Edwards was able to put 1 more point on the board, Damage ran out of time. Revo was able to secure the win 5-3, moving on to the quarterfinals and knocking Damage out of the tournament.
Well, I mean, you spend 10 years with the same guys and you develop a certain camaraderie and comfortable and sort of a family vibe. So when 187 broke down, it was kind of a heartbreaker, but hey, we got to still play. And now that we get the opportunity to play with each other again, it's like I don't know, it's a second chance that I'm thankful for.
For the past 4 years, Edmonton Impact hasn't just become the best team in the game. They might be the best paintball team ever. 8 wins and 4 season titles just in the US since 2014. A team filled with hand-picked all-stars around their original Canadian core. Their dominance has defined paintball at its highest level. At the first event in Vegas, they started off like they ended last season, laying waste to everything in their path, easily winning all 4 games.
We always remind ourselves not to come out flat, slow, and it always happens. This time it didn't, so we were fortunate for that.
We're obviously the ones we're winning, so people are looking to take that from us. And in any interview, we always get brought up, and everyone's kind of putting us as the team to beat. So in that sense, it's kind of like we don't want to put that own pressure on us. We just want to play our game and play as a team and work together and just let the games come. You don't want to think of all that stuff.
We set ourselves up for victory or failure. And I'm telling you right now, when we set ourselves up how we can, that's the result, boys. I'm telling you right now. It's all attitude, it's all mindset, and it's commitment to the game plan, and that's it.
They drew AC Dallas in the quarterfinals, a scrappy team with a reputation for technical mastery who took their lumps earlier in their careers, but quickly became a team to be reckoned with, finishing in the top 3 multiple times with a second-place finish in Chicago last year. They had never had success with Impact on Sunday, as Impact had knocked them out of the tournaments 3 times before. AC Dallas continued to look like a team that was ready to win an event.
Impact, AC Dallas, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
My thoughts on this next matchup is basically this is finals, right? These are the top 4 final teams probably, so we're going to get to see a great preliminary match.
But Edmonton Impact completely destroyed Baltimore Revo and didn't even let them put a point on the board, so Impact really hasn't had any hurdles at all.
The first 3 points of this quarterfinals match were a disaster for Impact. Though Impact had a chance in their second point when they went up 5-on-3, Brad McCurley and the Jackson brothers, Matt and John, held strong. And after Nick Laval drew a minor penalty, they closed it out for AC. With a little under 9 minutes to play, the score was 3-0. But as long as there's time on the clock the past few seasons, Impact is never out of the game. In what became the turning point of the match, AC Dallas went up 5-on-3 the next point, but Keith Brown, Justin Cornell, and Brandon Cornell tightened up, evened up the count, launched their attack, and started to bring it back for Impact. Small mistakes and survivability problems started to cost AC Dallas, as Impact clawed their way back into the match on the backs of stellar play by Zach Yakimek and Keith Brown.
look, there's still some game left to play, so they still could win. But if they lose this game, this is going to be one that they go back and watch over and over and get, my God, we were so close to taking Impact out in the quarterfinals, and we completely blew it. Because the way that AC Dallas had played this game up to that 3-0 point, it was their game to win.
Good job, Zach. Hey, way to be, Beck. Let's fucking go. Come on. Let's go, baby. Fucking go. Yeah, Zach. Hey, nice shot on that field, Zach. Come on. Nice shot on that field. Good job, JC. Hey, good job, babe.
With 41 seconds left and the game tied, it looked like we could be headed into overtime. But Justin Rabikoff refused to be denied another highlight reel finish.
But all of a sudden, AC Dallas shoots a bunch of bodies, but Justin Rabikoff is still alive over there, and he gets that last kill, and he trips and falls. That might not give him enough time. He dives in and hits the buzzer, and Edmonton Impact steals the win. 4 unanswered points from Edmonton Impact. Danner's saying he didn't get it.
Gets him, and then on the sprint, he's going to slip on the Dorito 1, crash into the tower, and dive last second to hit that buzzer, go up over the top.
Way to go, guys.
And all it took was that one. As soon as we were like, get one. As soon as we get one, then the momentum started shifting our way, and we just ran with that.
Every team here agrees that it's not consistent with the rest, with those guys and anybody else. I don't care who the other. They're wearing yellow masks and yellow. Are you fucking? It's literally ridiculous. It's fucking pathetic, man.
The other team to make a tiny mistake,
Don't
and
be
as
a
soon
sore
as they
loser,
do,
Polly. Come on, man. Don't be a sore loser. Come on. If he wants to talk like that, chill, dude. Why are you gonna be like that? Why can't it be a good game? Why would we want to play like that?
It's kind of a dramatic win. Back to you guys.
You understand it, Alex, because you've got fucked the same way.
So it looks like Justin Rabikoff forced to walk out of the interview and immediately go and have some cross words with Greg Pauly, who was razzing him from the sidelines.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing, if you lose, you lose. It's all on the field. If they had a guy live, one of our guys cheated, that's one thing. But all 5 of them got shot, and there was time left on the clock, and we hit the buzzer, and they're trying to say we went over the thing or over this, and some sort of bullshit technicality, and if that's how they want to win, then God bless them.
No, they weren't trying to call us out for anything. He was just, I was doing an interview with Lauren, and he just wanted to talk shit, and I don't know, try to get in my head or whatever. I don't even know what he really wanted to say, but if he's going to sit there and try to disrespect me in front of me and me not say anything, then obviously I'm going to have a problem with it. So, I mean, it was nothing new that wasn't exchanged. It was just wanted to disrespect me to my face, and I'm not going to sit there and stand idle. I mean, if they want to start a rivalry, they can. I mean, if they want to talk shit, listen, I'm out here to win a tournament. We are out here to win a tournament. I'm not here to make friends or start new relationships. They can go fuck themselves. If they want to talk shit to my face, fuck them. I give 2 shits about any of them on that team.
Houston Heat began as a super team built to win events, and when they formed in 2012, they immediately burst into the league as advertised, winning 3 tournaments, including the World Cup, and taking a 2nd place during the course of their first season.
They're going to have to go to the straight corner, Ryan. They're going to have to. Did he?
Good shit, Chad. Woo! Yeah, boy! Woo! I like it. There we go. Come on. Fucking go.
Keep your head in it. Trust one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like an A-Bud?
Yeah. Trust and respect.
Let's go. Hey, team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team!
For the past 6 years, Heat has always been a favorite to win events with their aggressive brand of paintball. But so was their opponents in the quarterfinals, San Antonio X Factor.
Let's go out there and do our thing. There's no more pressure. We're just out there making decisions, right? That's all we're doing. And if you watch the points today where we're losing or we've lost, we're getting a little in the moment instead of playing the situation, all right? Let's slow it down a little bit. The best word is settle in. Settle in, man. Let's go handle our shit just like any other match, and let's go out there and put it on the fucking field. Let's come on, all right? Hey, family on 3. You can't fucking buy this. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family!
I love that. Hell yeah. Let's go, boys.
It's tough to talk about former world champs X Factor without using the word consistent, because playing deep into tournaments is almost second nature for them, making Sunday for almost 4 years straight. These 2 teams are legends for a reason. They are proven winners, and their teams are stacked with some of the best individual talents in paintball. But both of these squads are motivated by the quest to take the top spot back from Impact.
Welcome back, 2018 NXL Las Vegas Open. I'm Matty Marshall. This match is brought to you by Planet Eclipse here on GoSports.com. We are in the quarterfinals. Houston Heat and San Antonio X Factor, the two Texas teams.
My thoughts on this next matchup is basically this is finals, right? These are the top 4 final teams probably, so we're going to get to see a great preliminary match. One of the really, really good teams is going to have to go in at home early, and we're going to watch the other team go through and smash everybody.
X Factor got a rough start in their first match of Sunday. A penalty on Billy Bernaccia cost X Factor in their first point, but Archie Montemayor and Michael Kovar were able to win the next one and tie the game. The next 2 points were all X Factor, and with 3 unanswered points, they took a 3-1 lead.
Make a move up to that 50 brick. There's no one on this snake side, and that's going to allow him to wrap around. So here's Archie Montemayor cleaning things up for Jesse after he dies. He's going to come through. The point gets conceded, and there is the
1-2.
And then a little twerk hip thrust.
3 times,
Archie's
baby.
feeling it.
Drop it 3 times,
a
Archie.
couple minutes.
Well, it's one hip thrust. It's one hip thrust per point that they have on the board. So he did a triple chest bump right here, and then 3 pelvic thrusts. Because they're up by or they have 3 points on the board.
LJ Woodley attacked up the center in the next point, but Heat holds. And Konstantin Fedorov launched a counterattack on the D side. It saved the point for Heat as they pulled within 1 with 6 minutes and 24 seconds to go. But Heat isn't able to keep up the momentum. X Factor takes over, shooting 2 bodies off the break in each of the next 2 points to make it 5-2 with only 3:33 left in the match. Coach Ryan Smith was forced to concede, even with 3 bodies left alive in a 3-on-5, causing some disagreement in the pits between points. Ryan Moorhead tried to settle everyone down, but things went badly again in the next point. Now forced to run into guns and down by 4, Fedorov and Sergey make a valiant attempt to come back, and though they were able to put 2 more points up and left everything out on the field, X Factor stayed ahead to move on into the semifinals.
Absolutely. We've gotten better pretty much every match. I think it shows with the scores and the quality of match we're playing. So yeah, we came in a little bit behind the curve, I think, as far as learning the field, but we've gotten a lot of great looks from our practices and from our matches, and I think we figured it out.
Back in the mid-2000s, Moscow Red Legion started to redefine professional paintball, with their players training in a private facility and getting regular paychecks. They imported some of the best talents, and their program has bred some of the best players in the game, en route to winning the World Cup 3 times. For the past few years, the Russians have been on a rebuild. They brought in a few French stars and had to lean on their solid homegrown veterans to help keep them relevant. They won Atlantic City last year, which was their first big win since 2011. With the French players now gone, 2018 would be a test to see if their young players had grown enough to help the veterans win. Even though one of their best young talents, Leo Smotrov, wasn't at the event, they cruised through the prelims, winning all 4 games, and they met Revo in the quarterfinals. The Russians started the game slow, losing bodies to gunfights and a penalty on Denis Golev. Revo played aggressive and took full advantage of the Russians' mistakes, going up 2 points early. In a close third point, Gropridny attacked the center as Malloy got into the snake, getting a crucial kill cross-field. But Max Traylor bunkered out Malloy and it came down to a 1-on-1.
And worst case scenario, trade out.
Make him come get you.
If you can't shoot him, trade out. Or just shoot him in the face.
But Zelensky was smart. He was doing what you said. He was sitting back, only shooting when he had the advantage, kind of always watching the gaps, playing smart paintball.
Pavel Karslev pushed up the D side and finished off the next point with a 2-pack to put the Russians' first point of the match on the board. Malloy and Karslev stepped up again in the next point and the Russians pull within 2. They trade the next few points until Revo was up 5-3 with only 55 seconds to go. Knowing they have to push recklessly forward, the Russians launch their attack. Revo doesn't put a gun on Malloy, who finds a seam and shoots everyone but Josh Pike. As Malloy lunged for the buzzer, Pike made his shot and then held off the rest of the Russian line as time expired. Revo advanced into the semifinals for the first time.
Well, as you mentioned, we have a stacked roster. Some would see that, right? That doesn't mean anything. Just to play together, play as one team. And coming in preparation to this, we traveled, we sat down, we actually visualized exactly where every angle is in this field and saw where we should shoot, what would shoot us, when to move, different codes. I say that from 2017, World Cup, 2018 this, it's night and day. We prepared hard, fought hard, and right now, for the first time in, 2018, top 4.
In the semifinals, Dynasty matched up with Impact. The history between these two teams is deep. Not only did Dalton Vanderbilt, Rainey Stanzik, and Alex Goldman play on Dynasty, but so did Impact's coach Dave Baines. Also, Zach Yakimek and Joshua Met came down to play with Dynasty back in the mid-2000s, learning their system along the way, and to this day, Impact still uses Dynasty's codes on the field. They have also combined forces to play as one team over in Europe a few seasons ago. Though Dynasty and Impact have battled each other in close games throughout the past decade, this game was not to be a close one.
Going into 2018 Las Vegas Open, I think we were extremely confident. We had just had a really good showing at World Cup, got second place, got beat by Impact, had felt like we were clicking and we were on the right track. And I know everybody's expectations were for sure to go in and win Vegas. I don't think that it was something that was far-fetched. I don't think that was aiming too high at all.
But we are here in the semifinals, and two awesome matchups, and a big one in Edmonton Impact and San Diego Dynasty. And Dynasty, their story getting into the semifinal matchup. They got the bye. They were waiting to see who was going to win that Outlaws Elevation game. It was Elevation. And then Dynasty just pretty much destroyed Elevation in that quarterfinal matchup. And Elevation just didn't seem to have an answer for anything that Dynasty was doing out there. And Dynasty put a big 6-0 up on that board and just coasted into the semifinals.
It started with Dynasty having a hard time keeping bodies alive on the break, and it stayed that way the whole game, as they lost bodies early every point. Dynasty was able to get a few kills of their own on the break, and they fought hard down bodies with some aggressive moves from Tyler Harmon. But Dynasty could never find a way to battle back, and Impact cruised to an easy 6-0 Mercy Rule shutout victory. It was a bitter loss for Dynasty, as they just did the same thing to Elevation. Impact moves on into the quarterfinals.
Anytime you get beat 6-0 or whatever the Mercy Rule is and you don't put a point on the board, it is really disheartening. And even more so because the World Cup second place trophy I've kept in my bedroom above my bed all the way up until that first event in Las Vegas. Because losing to Impact, there's got a lot of friends on that team, but when we're on the field, we're not friends at all. We've grown up playing against each other. It's become a huge rivalry, Dynasty versus Impact. They're trying to make a run for the greatest team ever. Dynasty's been known as the greatest team ever for a long time. So every time we play each other, it's a big game.
If we shoot people on the break, we're going to be unstoppable. And we shot a lot of people on the break in that Dynasty game, and that's on this field. If you can shoot people on the break, you're going to win the game. It doesn't matter who you are. AC Dallas, they went up 4-0 on us because they were shooting a lot of bodies on the break. Against Dynasty, we did the same to them. You can't win 3-on-5 on this field. It's just impossible. It's really difficult.
How many right things you think you're doing, things can still not go your way. And sometimes somebody's just better than you on that day. So you can't let that break you. It's okay to feel, pretty crappy about it for a little while, but you just got to find a way to overcome it,
Revo had made the top 4 for the first time, but to move into the finals, they had to beat X Factor first.
Honestly, we're really confident today. We had some close games on Friday and Saturday, and it really taught us a lot about playing the field. We had a really strong match against Heat this morning, and Revo's playing really solid. They're not really making a whole lot of mistakes, so we just know we got to go out there and play our game. We're confident with the lanes we're shooting. We're confident with our breakouts, so we're just going to kind of just play like it was this morning, really. We had a good game against Heat. They really had a great game against the Russians, so it's going to be a fight, no doubt about it. We're just, we're going to do our thing, and hopefully we prevail.
In the first point, X Factor got the advantage after Stephen O'Mara and Max Traylor left early, giving X Factor a 5-on-3 situation, giving X Factor an early 1-0 lead. But in the next point, Revo was able to win some gunfights to tie the game up. Then the combination of X Factor's off-the-break shots and Michael Kovar put X Factor up by 1, after a big move by Kovar up the center of the field. Both teams pushed into the snake, and it looked like X Factor would win another point. Jesse Stevens drew a penalty though, which gave it to Revo, and the game was tied. Archie Montemayor and Billy Bernaccia pushed the action in the snake and moved down the field into the guns of Revo, winning the point and taking the lead. X Factor was able to keep up the accurate off-the-break shooting and play slow to burn off the clock until they were up by 122 in this quarterfinal match. Revo couldn't summon the attack to score, and X Factor earned their way into the finals.
I think we should have been here multiple times the last 2-3 years, and it's just a relief. And after this game, I mean, if we can win, it's just a relief. Like, we have a team that should win. Either you're bigger than the moment, or the moment's bigger than you, and that's what we need to be bigger than any moment. We need to be solid, composed, on and off the field.
So just keep that shit up, all right? And if one of us gets frustrated, that shit happens. Everyone else, Nick, you do a fucking stellar job. Handle that shit. You're frustrated, grab your buddy, take him out, cool him out, all right? Shit happens. Seriously, the story of today is together we achieve more, all right? One more game, it's just like every other one. There's no fucking hype or nothing, man. It's just another fucking game. We're just out here doing our fucking job, all right? Let's do that. Let's do it as a family, all right? All right, hard on 3. 1, 2, 3, hard!
Impact in the finals, 2018 Vegas, going up against San Antonio X Factor. I know they really want to beat us. We sent them home a lot in the semifinals. The last time they were in the finals, they played us. The time before that, they played us in the finals. And the time before that, they played us in the finals. The first one they won, and we won the last 2. So I'm sure they'd like to even the score and beat us up in the finals.
The nervousness is here, which is always a good thing. It's it's been a good tournament for both teams, so it's going to be interesting. I think they're jacked. I know they're jacked because they've been a while. I think they beat us in the World Cup in 12 or 13. It was 13, I think, that they beat us. So, and they haven't been there. They've been missing the top 2 for a while. So they're pumped. I know they're jacked.
The final matchup of the 2018 NXL Las Vegas Open is about to go down on center court here at Craig Ranch Regional Park in North Las Vegas. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez.
You see these guys giving big contributions coming out here, but they need to play as a team to be able to beat Edmonton Impact. After a very close one against AC Dallas earlier, everybody on that roster from top to bottom is a weapon. And every single guy is capable of coming out here and being the MVP, from Justin Cornell to Justin Rabakoff to Nick Laval and Rainey Stanzak, who we've already seen, and Keith Brown over here on the snake side, constantly getting down the field, being a huge factor for Edmonton Impact.
Impact had been flawless getting into the finals. X Factor knew that they needed to find a way to get bodies out alive to beat them and take their first big win in years. But it didn't start out the way that they planned.
Here we go. We are just 10 seconds away from the start of this first point. San Antonio X Factor on your screen, now on your left.
Both Billy Bernaccia and Grayson Goff died off the break, and Nick Laval broke open the point for Impact.
And especially as Woodley dies, and that is going to be a quick one here for Edmonton Impact.
Impact played off the momentum of the first point and played aggressive on the snake side, getting the hero of the quarterfinals, Keith Brown, into the snake off the break. Justin Cornell died, which gave X Factor a one-body advantage. But Billy Bernaccia and Jesse Stevens got shot out of their spots, and after a battle of attrition, it was 3-on-3. But a few quick X Factor deaths let Impact go up 2-0.
Edmonton Impact, again, doing a really good job of getting that first kill, shooting bodies on the break.
Exert a lot of pressure on Impact, because Impact now with 12 unanswered points have got to start really feeling that confidence.
X Factor gave themselves a chance in the third point, when they went up bodies 4-on-3 after the death of Justin Rabakoff. Bernaccia got into the 50 snake brick and attempted to run down Keith Brown, but he chose the wrong bunker and threw his body away, which evened up the count. But on the move, X Factor was able to get a kill on Cornell, and Archie finished off the point to pull within 1.
Archie Montemayor drops his Sig Selly in the middle of the field with the triple tap on the chest pound, as he's trying to get his team, trying to get his crowd into this match, get them pumped up and try and go on a roll here.
X Factor shot 2 bodies off the snake side in the next point, but then quickly lost 2 bodies of their own. Zach Yakimek was able to get out wide, and Archie was able to push into the 50 snake brick. X Factor moved up the field, but Woodley received a minor penalty, which put Archie Montemayor in a bad spot. Archie fought strong in a 3-on-1, getting a kill, but J-Rab eventually caught him, and Impact went up 2.
Best in Archie Montemayor, but now down by 2. It's going to get interesting here, Todd, with around 6 minutes left to play.
Yeah, I mean, Archie, really, if he'd have gone any farther up on either side of the field, it seemed like he probably would have put himself in a difficult position.
The long point burned time off the clock, and with 5:14 left to go in the final match, X Factor was forced to play offense. Another penalty cost them the next point, and knowing they needed to force movement opportunities with heavy guns, lost gunfights cost them the point after that. As X Factor pushed, Impact held on, shooting bodies on the break, as nothing seemed to be going X Factor's way in the remaining minutes. And they died on their swords. They took a tough second-place finish. The final score, 6-1.
For me, just being out here and reflecting and kind of looking at, hey, we did make Sunday. We had some tough games in the beginning. Maybe it's just my emotions still getting the better of me. I don't like coming back and saying, yeah, hey, we still took second place. But it is what it is. It's just back to the drawing board.
I don't know. It's a well-oiled machine in a lot of ways. I look at what we do, our processes. It's a lot of little things, and you know, there's frustrating moments. There's no doubt every team goes through that. It's a learning, but we're starting to realize from all our mistakes over the years, and it seems like we're getting eliminating them, and it's becoming a real well-processed machine. So, you know, it's a confidence builder, as I said. I think, you know, over the years, the guy's becoming really trustworthy. It's just becoming a player that trusts his back players trust the middle guy, and it goes right around the horn. So it's just a continuous effort from everybody that we're just having a real good run right now. So, I mean, I don't know. You look at teams that have won in other leagues. I mean, the Tigers, the Oilers, the Patriots. You're going to have the haters, and I think it just, you know, it's you know, they're going to want to get us knocked off at some point, and it's going to happen. It's going to come. But right now we're on the ride. So keep hating us, and we'll keep winning.
All right, yo, what do you got to say to all the haters?
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
All the people. Do you think you got a lot of?
We have nothing but haters. Hey, we're the bad guys. Say hello to the bad guys. We're not the good guys. We're here to fucking win. No fucking friends. Let's go.
Though a few miscues and penalties cost X Factor the game, Impact proved yet again that they are a team at the very peak of their powers. A team that is continuing to define our sport at its highest level, making a run at the claim of the best paintball team ever in the history of the game. In Vegas, they outscored their opponents 42-10. The question now, heading into Texas, is who will rise to take them down.
We've won here twice, right?
Yep. Made the finals 3 times.
Yeah. So 2 wins is good. 2 out of 3 wins.
People every time.
2 out of 3.
Yep.
66%. Take it.
Yeah. You get the
Those
tacos?
are the odds.
Time
There's
tacos?
3 type of winners. One that, oh no, not winners, just pro players. There's pro players that never won. There's pro players that have won. There's pro players that don't remember how many they won.
Canada Day.
And I don't remember shit.
I don't remember shit.
Is that pro tip number 76?
How many have you won?
Put it on my leg.
I don't remember.
How many have you
I
won?
have no idea.
No
I
idea.
have no idea.
When you make the conscious decision to pick up a paintball gun and head out into the world of tournament paintball in search of adventure, what you're really seeking is a story. The fun and the challenge, the trials and the accolades, those all fade. Even if you're successful, the trophies will sit there and collect dust. The prize money will get spent. But what remains are the moments, the memories, a powerful story. Sunday has a special place in paintball. What happens on Sunday defines our sport. It's where our history gets written and where heroes are made. It's where all the hard work, the welts, and the time spent come together to create victory or defeat. What happens on Sunday is why people will remember your name. That's the story you're about to watch. Not just the story of one team or one player, but the story of a year. 1 year in the Pro Division in the National X-Ball League, the NXL. 5 tournaments. 20 teams fighting over 3 days until one remains, raising a trophy on Sunday. This is the story of 5 Sundays.